We already did that top problem together yesterday, so I'm going to start down on what would be number 7, but I'll probably call it number 1 or whatever. That very first problem, that is 4/6 plus 2/5. Common denominator? 30. So, for 6 to get to 30, 5. So 4 times 5, 20. 5 to get to 30, 6. 2 times 6, 12. 20 plus 12, 32. You end up with 32 30ths. It's improper. You can't leave it that way. Some of you are leaving your answers improper on your test. You cannot do that. You will not find it like that on a multiple choice test. It will be written as a mixed fraction. You have to take care of it. So 30 into 32, how many times can 30 go into 32? Once. 1 times 30 is 30. 2 minus 0 is 2. 3 minus 3 is 0. And when you write it, again, this one right here is your whole number. 1. This is your numerator. 2. This is your denominator. 30. So you should have 1 and 2/30ths as your first answer. And, hold on, it has to be simplified. How do you know it's supposed to be simplified? Well, it can go in half, but they're both even. So you can look at that and know that 2 is an even number, 30 is an even number. So they can both be simplified by 2. 6 can't go into 2.
What you mean?
That's not necessary. But it can be divided. It has to be divided, not multiplied. It has to get smaller, not bigger. So 2 divided by 2 is 1. 30 divided by 2 is 15. So if you did what I've been telling you a million times and you simplified your fraction, you should have 1 and 1/15. If you gave me 1 and 2/30ths,
You're wrong.
it's not wrong, because it is right,
But it's
but
you only get half of credit.
you would only get half credit because that's not all the way done. 1 and 1/15 is all the way done. That one is simplified. Adam. Thank you. Four and 3/4 minus 1 and 5/6. Least common denominator.
12.
24 is okay. 12 is better. 24 is a guarantee that you're going to have to simplify. 24 is okay. It's not wrong. 12 is better. So, if I do 12, four to get to 12, 3. 3 times 3 is 9. 6 to get to 12, 2. 2 times 5, 10. 9 minus 10.
You can't
Cannot do that.
out of your home.
So I have to borrow 1, 2, 3, 4. I have to borrow from this one. So now I have 3. See, some of you guys are just sticking the hole in there without borrowing from up here. And you'll still leave me with that 4 and not showing me where it came from. You'll do the steps. You'll go all the way through this, but you won't change this number. So you'll be off, your whole number will be off by 1. Because you'll do all these steps. You'll do this, but you won't change this. So 12/12 plus 9/12. Doing my parentheses, I like to break things up. So 12 plus 9.
12 plus 9. 21.
21 over 12. So then 21 minus 10. 11 12. And now I have 1, 2, 3 minus 1.
So it's 2.
2 and 11 12. If you said 3 and 11 12, you forgot to change your whole number 4. So it's 2 and 11 12. And 11 is a prime number, so you cannot simplify that. The only thing that makes 11 is 11 and 1. You cannot simplify it. This one, the numbers were huge. I practiced it on the back table, and it was very large. But that's okay, because I worked it out. I multiplied it out. Because they're not always going to be nice and teeny tiny, beautiful, easy to work with numbers. Because the only common denominator that I could find was what I got was 11 times 15. And that was what?
165.
165. That was the only one, because if you think about your multiples of 11, 33, 44, 55, 66, 77, 15 doesn't go into those. Yes?
What if you add those? If you add 7, 15 plus 8, 15, you do a whole.
Oh, and you could do that too. I didn't even think about that. You know, I totally forgot about that.
I told him I wanted to 11.
And see, I made it harder than it was earlier.
I did 11.
Oh my goodness gracious. I made it so hard earlier. But you know, was it wrong the way I did it before?
No.
No. But it was longer and it was harder. So is there more than one way to solve a problem? Yeah. The way that I did it just made it a whole lot harder. And then Nathan reminded me, gosh, Miss Strickland, you taught us the way to do it that was easier just a little while ago. Duh. So, here it is. There's my duh, Miss Strickland. You just forgot. Duh. There it is. So, 7 plus, find those common denominators. So, there's my duh, Miss Strickland. There it is. And it's on YouTube. Duh, Miss Strickland. You forgot. So, 7 plus 8. 15 15 plus 6 11. What is 15 15?
1 whole.
1 whole. Oh my star. Oh, that's not even gonna let me erase. So that's 1 whole and 6 11.
Yes.
Well, the way that I did it earlier was a whole lot more work, where we did everything had a common denominator of 165. It wasn't wrong. And then this had 77, and then this was 6 times 15. That was 90. And then this was 88. Then you added them up, and then you ended up with an improper fraction. Then you ended up having to reduce it or simplify it. And you still ended up with 1 and 6 11. It was just really long and a lot of work. And you still had the possibility to get it wrong. So this was way easier. Duh. Yes, Ryan.
I added 7 15 plus 8 15, and then got 15 15. Then I turned that into a whole. Then I turned the whole into 11 11 plus 6 11. And then I got 17 11, so then I converted that into 6 11.
Why?
In the world?
Oh my gosh.
I got it right.
So you just added a couple more steps that didn't even need to be there?
Yeah, I guess that didn't make it.
Okay.
I know.
So So it's like you got to the beach and then turned around and went around in a circle and then went back to the beach where you already were? Awesome. Okay. So 7 1/4 minus 3 2/3. So you and I are in the same boat. We just made a problem way harder than it needed to be. I went way around there. But, you know, I still ended up at the beach. Okay, so my common denominator is 12. 4 to get to 12 is 3. 1 times 3 is 3. 3 to get to 12 is 4. 3 times 4 is 3 minus 8. Cannot do it. So I have to borrow a whole from the 7. So the 7 becomes a 6. 12 12 plus 3 12. Doing my parentheses. So this becomes, you're skipping ahead there, so 12 plus 3. 15 12 minus 8 12. 7 12. Up here I have my 6 minus 3. 3 and 7 12. If you said 4 and 7 12, you forgot to change your 7. You're afraid at some point there's going to be something. Something somewhere.
Yeah,
Common denominator. 15. 5 to get 15. 3. 4 times 3 is 12. 3 to get to 15. 5. 2 times 5 is 10. So 12 plus 10 is 22. That is improper. 15 into 22. How many times is 22? 1 time. So end up with 1 and 7/15. Some of you are taking this and writing your improper fraction wrong. This is your whole number. This is your numerator. Your denominator stays the same. So this becomes 1 and 7/15. That is not your answer because you still have your 3 and your 2, which is 5 plus 1 and 7/15 equals 6 and 7/15. I did.
no, like someone said what? I said yes.
Oh, I was like, but I did. It's right there.
Why did you what? 6 and 5.
22 minus 15 is 7. 12 minus 5 is 7.
God, it's so funny.
Yeah.
Wow.
To be said. The bottom one. 4 and 2/3 plus 2 and 3/5. Common denominator. 15. 3 to get to 15. 5. 2 times 5. 10. 5 gets 15. 3. 3 times 3. 9. So that gives me 19. 15. Improper. So 15 and 19. 1 time. So that is 1 and 4/15. Not the answer though. 4 plus 2. So you have 6 and 1 and 4/15 equals 7 and 4/15 is your answer.
That's the wrong number.
Oh,
Yeah, on the whole, instead of saying 4, I said it was 11.
okay, I'm on the top of the next column. I told you it was a 4 yesterday, but it's okay, it's a 4. 2 minus 1 and 3/8. Can I subtract it the way it is? Is it 1 and 3/8? No. No. I cannot subtract it the way it is. Because this is like having 2 uncut pizzas and I need 3/8 of a pizza that's not cut. So, what do you have to do? So you have to change the 2 into 1 whole and 8/8. Take one of those pieces and slice it up into 8 pieces. Now I can do 3/8. So 8 minus 3. 5/8. 1 minus 1 is 0. So you should have 5/8. Then because you didn't change this or you didn't choose something. No. Because this is like having a 0 over here. If you have nothing, can you subtract something when you have nothing? I have 2 and no fractions. Can you subtract a fraction when you have no fraction? No, you have to make the fraction from one of those whole numbers. I just make the fraction by taking one of those whole numbers and turning it into a fraction. That's all you have to do. Taking it and cutting it up. 7/8. This is one of the easiest ones. Minus 1/6. Common denominator? 24. 48's not wrong, but 24 is better. 24. Common denominator here would be 21. Common denominator, no, not common denominator. Numerator here would be 4. So then you should have 7. And that cannot be simplified because 17 is a prime number. The only thing that can go into 17 is 17. Well, yeah. I mean, I really don't even bother saying 1 because the only thing that 1 can do is make the numbers stay the same. There's no point. 2/3 minus 7/12. Common denominator. 12. 36 isn't wrong. 24 isn't wrong. But why change the 12? 12 can go into 12. 12 is better. This one I can leave it alone. So 3 to get to 12 is 4. 2 times 4 is 8. That way I don't have to simplify it. If I do something else, I have to simplify it. I better write fast because I'm not going slow. This was homework. Okay, so 4 minus 3/8 minus 2/5. Now, this is one of the ones where I was telling you you really don't want to do the subtract, then subtract. Because remember I told you, I tried it yesterday and I ended up getting the wrong answer. Or was it yesterday or the day before? I tried it and I got the wrong answer. So it makes it a lot harder than it needs to be when you just try to do subtract and then subtract. So if you just do 4 minus and then take these two guys and combine them. That way you're not having to find common denominators for everything and having to borrow over here and do just, it's a lot easier. Just like if I were doing 10 minus 2 minus 5. Having to subtract and then subtract and then subtract. 10 minus 2 is 8, 8 minus 5 is 3. Sure. But 10 minus 2 plus 5. Well, I know that 2 plus 5 is 7. 10 minus 7, oh, that's 3. You just combine those two. You get the same thing. But I have found that if I do subtract, I haven't been getting the same thing. See what I'm saying? You guys haven't been getting the same thing. So, if you have a subtract, take those back two, add them together. Don't be hard-headed on me. Just do it. So 40, this is one of those ones I'm saying, please do it my way or the highway, because it's not working out. So this would be 15, this would be 16. Oh, yeah. Okay, so because that goes 5 times 3 is 15. 5 goes into 40 8 times. 8 times 2 is 16. So you would have 4 minus 31 40. Yes, sir? I do. Because
you got to change it into 3 and 44. It's 4 whole.
right, because you can't subtract this the way it is right now. So the 4 has to become a 3, 40, 40 minus 31 40th. What's 40 minus 31? 9.
Wait.
Oh, I was like, what? Did I subtract wrong? And then 3. 3 and 9 40th.
Oh, I got it right back.
Yay! But you know, that's fine. Again, did you do subtract? If you don't know how you did it, oh my gosh. And see, that's the hard part is when your scratch work is all over the place and I'm trying to read it, I can't figure it out. So it's nice if it's a little bit neater so that I can make it out when I have to look at it. So please try to write it neat. Not.
I don't even.
Wow, and you got the right answer? Sweet.
Yeah, that's what I did.
Hey, if you got it, more power to you. The one time I tried it, I got it wrong. To me, this is easier. I would much rather add. Adding is easier than subtracting sometimes. Okay. And, oh my goodness, this one is easy. 4 and 2/5 plus 4 and 3/4. Common denominator. 20. So this is 8. 15. Yep. So you end up with 23 20ths. My whole numbers end up with an 8. I went ahead and added those. So this is improper. Can't leave it. If you give me this kind of thing on a test, I get kind of cranky. You should be able to recognize when you have an improper fraction. And some of y'all on your test, I was writing improper on your test. I shouldn't have to see improper fractions as an answer. You should know when the top number is bigger, that's improper. Take care of it. Deal with it. 20. 23 goes one time. That's 1 and 3/20. So this one goes with this 8 and you get 9.
Yay! I got that. I thought that.
And the only thing that can go into 3 is 3, and 3 can't go into 20.
Yeah.
So that cannot be simplified. Okay, so we're like making faces about the last one, huh?
Yeah, I can.
No, it's not.
I'm not.
Nope. Am I ever going to give you something you're going to have a negative when we're not doing negatives?
I don't remember. I thought.
No, I would not. So 9,
Except that problem B. That
nope, plus 1 and 1/4 plus a blank with 14. Okay, here we go. Crack the knuckles. My knuckles don't crack anymore. Okay, here we go. So, if you remember, we're having to rearrange our numbers, move things around. I need the blank all by itself. The blank has a plus sign in front of it, which means that it is positive. So it needs to stay here. If I move it over here, it's going to become negative. I don't want it over there. It needs to stay here. So the blank stays there. These numbers go over there. They're going with the 14. So it's 14 minus, because they're plus over here. So this is like 0 plus. So they're going over here, so they're adding over here, so they're subtracting over here. When you cross that equal sign, you change what they're doing. Remember? Maybe a little. You should remember a smidge. Okay? So they're adding over here, they're subtracting over here. So 9 and 5/6 minus 1 and 1/4. If they're adding over here, they're subtracting over here. So if they're subtracting over here, what are they doing over there? Adding. So if they cross that equal sign, you change the operation. So now that I'm doing subtract, I'm going to, because I like it better, and it's easier for this up here, I'm going to combine these two in the back. Okay? So I've got my 14 out. 9 and 5/6 plus 1 and 1/4. That's what I'm doing. I'm combining them so that I can subtract my total. So, common denominator? 12. The smallest one I can do. So, my numerator would be 10. Numerator would be 3. Yay! I like to hear, hey, I did that. I like it. But it's funny when y'all are surprised that you did it. It's like, oh, hey, I did that. Okay, so 14 minus, and then you've got, what, that's, what am I writing? 9. So, I'm not there yet. Hold on. Because remember, I write every single step. So, I know it drives y'all crazy, but I still do it. So, my 9 plus 1 is 10. 10 plus 3 is 13. And then I bring my denominator. But, again, it's improper. I'm going to go ahead and deal with it. I want to go ahead and deal with it because that makes it hard. I can't subtract. Because if I make this 12 twelfths, I can't subtract 12 minus 13. So I have to deal with this improper fraction. If I were adding, I wouldn't care. I would deal with that later. But I'm subtracting. I can't do that. So, 12 into 13, one time. So now I have 1 and 1 12 plus my 10. So I have 14 minus 11 and 1 12. Let me extend my page a little bit. Okay. Still there? Still with me? Okay. So, like our other problems that we had, you can't take 14 uncut pizzas and on one of them take a 12th out of it if it's not even cut up. So what do I have to do to one of my pizzas?
Make it 13.
Cut it up into 12s. So I'm still going to have 13 whole pizzas. I don't need to cut those. One of them, cut it up into 12 pieces. So I can take out my 11. -1. I was waiting a long time for that. 13 minus 11? 2.
Yes.
2. And 11, 12.
I was scared. I got them all right. I was doing myself homework. I got it wrong.
And that's it.
You missed it by 1 whole.
So you messed up by 1 whole. What did you forget to do your...
I forgot to make the 14. I know. I didn't do that. I did 14 restaurants and I did 13.
Oh, no.